Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. Today we're going to talk just a little bit about a Reddit question about how much to save up and or spend on your boat. Very quick, I think I've mentioned all of this before, so if it's a rehash, deal with it. But I'm going to try to do this quick and concise and not 45 minutes long and talk about that question. You can save $1,000. You can save $5,000. You can save up $50,000. You can decide that you're going to save up $500,000. It's okay. You can do whatever. This is a pretty common question on Reddit. How much do I need to save? How much do I need to spend on a boat? How much should I plan for? And the answer is really whatever you want. You're going to spend money on the boat. This is really the biggest deal, and this is the thing you really need to pay attention to, okay? If you spend $5,000 on your boat, great. You're probably going to spend $10,000 on your boat over the next year. If you spend $40,000 on your boat to buy your boat, you're probably going to spend $20,000 on your boat in the next year. If you buy an $80,000 boat, you're probably going to spend $20,000 to $30,000 on your boat in the next year. If you buy a $150,000 boat, you are guaranteed to spend $20,000 to $50,000 on your boat in the next year. That's how it goes. This includes new boats. You buy a new boat, you're going to have to buy a whole bunch of crap. Whole bunch of stuff, right? Old boats usually have a bunch of stuff that kind of comes with them. This is actually something to look at when you're buying a used boat, so pay attention here for a moment. But, engine parts. If you're buying a used boat with an engine, look at the engine part inventory. That actually tells you something about the care that the boat has had. And, it might be a $2,000 boat because no one took care of the engine. It runs right now, but it hasn't been cared for. Same boat, same year, same ugly, cracked gel coat condition. Instead of $2,000 is $7,000. But the lines for the sails aren't green and moldy. And you have 3 backup fuel filters, a couple backup oil filters, an oil change suction device in the boat, and a couple parts. Well, it's not that those parts cost that much money. They don't. We're talking a couple $100 worth of parts, but the engine has been cared for a little. At least the person took enough time and learned enough about the engine to know what parts to have on hand, right? Big deal. Okay, either way, you're going to spend money on the boat. There's just which money you're going to spend. If you buy a brand new boat, you don't have any spare parts, you don't have any life jackets, you don't have anything, you're going to spend money on the boat. You certainly don't have the setup you want because it's a factory boat. Like, that's just how it goes. The people spending $8 million on their 80-foot yacht, we're going to talk about, we're not talking about that, okay? You're not saving up money for a boat if you are spending $8 million on your boat, right? Once you get into 7 figures, it's just different territory. So you can save up as much as you want. You can save up as little as you want. Doesn't really matter. Try to pay cash for the boat. There's a couple things right now that would tempt me into a short-term personal financing situation. Like if there's a boat nearby, a fellow veteran is selling, just for an example, and he was asking, I don't know, $10,000. Like he needed to get $10,000 out of it. He's buying another boat. He's deploying. He's retiring to Spain. I don't know what he's doing, right? This is just something. And he's like, hey, this would be a really easy sell. And I'd be like, hey, I'm going to have to set up a direct deposit of $500 a month until it's paid off. That's like breaks all the rules. Breaks all of the rules. I'm going to give him whatever's laying around at the end of the beginning of the month, $1,000, whatever. Then you pay it off. And you pay the full price. You don't negotiate him down to $6,000 because that's what he's going to get if he tries to sell the boat. And it sits around for 3 or 4 months in the slip and everything. And then like he's asking $12,000 and then all of a sudden he gets $6,000. And he takes it because he doesn't want to spend $500 a month, $800 a month. I don't know. It depends on, marinas can vary a lot. So there you go. Breaks my rules. But there could be a situation where I might go for it a little bit. If it's a non-traditional, there's a lot of things with traditional financing arrangements that are very abusive, and I wouldn't want to do that. Just total sidebar comment, right? Because generally speaking, you pay cash for your boat. So if you're saving up money for your boat, save up your money. If you save up $2,000, buy a $2,000 boat. Know that you're going to be putting a lot of money into your dream as you go forward. If you're buying that boat to just jump on it and start heading down the river, the ICW, the lake, whatever, good. Go for it. No problems. If you're going to spend $2,000 on a boat and you're going to go blue water, like we're talking about going to the Bahamas and beyond really quick, like you're going to do the whole Caribbean, you're going to end up in Colombia or something, $2,000, you may not be getting a boat that's really going to be happy with that unless you're a very experienced sailor, and you know exactly what you're getting and everything. So chill out on that thought for just a minute. But yeah, go grab your $2,000 boat and head on down the ditch, the ICW, or whatever. You're going down the Mississippi. I don't know what you're doing. You're on the Ohio River. You're in Chesapeake Bay. You can do that and do just fine. Just you're going to be spending money on the boat as you go. You're going to be doing a lot of backed up engine maintenance. You're going to be buffing out the gel coat. You're going to be waxing. You're going to be painting. You're going to be fixing stuff. You're going to be refitting the boat. You may be refitting the entire electrical system. It's pretty common to have to do when you're buying boats that are not terribly expensive, on the cheaper side, because that's one of the things. They tend to be older and have stock RV style 12-volt wiring that doesn't do anything modern at all. Like no lithium batteries, no good chargers, no balanced chargers, no... Like we've gotten a lot of very good and cheap technology in the last decade and a half, 2 decades, that just makes it all completely different world. Just like composting toilets. Rip out that black water tank, rip out everything, and just put in the composting toilet, and you're so much happier, right? It's cheap, but it's money. It's money that you have to put in. If you save up $50,000 instead of $500, $5,000, and you spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on your boat, odds are pretty good you're going to have to do the same level of electrical update as you have to do on your 1974 Catalina 30. Okay? That's just it. The key thing here is that whatever you save up past a certain point, you want to start spending less on the boat. If you've saved up $2,000, you're buying a $2,000 boat and you're going to work on it as you cruise, you are a gypsy. You are a bohemian. You are a hippie. Enjoy it and have fun. All right? There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's more or less what I'm doing. If you save up, most recent question is a college kid, okay? I don't know how he's saving money in college, but apparently he's saving up money while he's in college. Good for him. He wants to know what his goals should be. And he's gotten answers all over the place. But let's say, realistically, he saves up $40,000. Don't get a $40,000 boat. Don't get a $30,000 boat. Get a $15,000 boat. Immediately just drop your $5,000 into it, because you're going to have to, and then you have more money to upgrade the boat as you go, to maintain the boat, to replace things. There's going to be stuff you have to do. That's the answer. If you save up $5,000, buy a $5,000 boat. Try to get them down to $3,000. That's great. If you can find a $3,000 boat that suits you, great. $5,000, get a $5,000 boat. $500,000, if you're saved up $500,000, just get the boat you want and budget out the rest. You're probably going to be pretty good at budgeting at that point. You can probably deal with, spending $350,000 on your catamaran, having $150 left, and doing your life. Go, move forward. If you save up $80,000, you run the risk of buying a $60,000 or $70,000 boat, and it's going to cost you just as much in the first year as if you bought a $20,000 boat. And that's the key. You're not... People sometimes respond to me, oh, well, yeah, I bought a $15,000 boat and I spent $20,000 over it over the course of 3 years. I'm like, they're like, maybe I should have bought a $50,000 boat to begin with. And I'm like, you would have spent at least as much money on your $50,000 boat over the next 2 years. Partly because the systems are more complex. The more expensive the boat, generally speaking, the more complex the systems are going to be that are on it. You're going to have installed heaters with heat exchange units that do seawater, and you're going to have to clean the vents and deal with pumps, and sea life is going to grow in your pumps, and then your pumps are going to burn out, and then everything's going to burn out. You're going to have to deal with wiring. You're going to have to deal with stuff like having a leaky washer and dryer in your boat. Don't ask me. Not something I actually want on my boat, but that people, when the more money, the more systems, the more complex the systems, and the more you have to deal with repairs, upgrades, maintenance. If you have $16,000 of electronics on the helm of the boat that you buy, it all needs to be replaced next year or 3 years from now, somewhere in there. Because when you start doing that, when you start doing the Raymarine or the Garmin suite of instruments, you start having, you get locked into a vendor life cycle, and you're going to have to replace it. If you're cheap and you're just running a couple tablets, and you've got a Samsung tablet over here, an Apple iPad over here, and a cheap Garmin, just because you want something that has Navionics on it, whatever, you're not stuck with the same cycle of upgrades. You don't have a whole bunch of integrated systems that are all going to stop getting updates next year. So cheaper generally means less complex systems. So that's the thing. Save up as much money as you want. Know what your budgets are. Make a guess about how much money you're going to make while you're cruising. Do whatever you're doing. Or if it's your weekend condo on the marina, you're floating on the water for the weekends, or live aboard full time, whatever you're doing, make the judgments necessary, okay, to don't overspend. Just there's no reason to buy a boat at the limit of your budget unless your budget is under $10,000. Then you're searching for a really good deal. Search, value your money, take your time. But when you're talking about $30,000, $40,000, buy under your budget. Buy significantly under your budget. You will find a very decent boat for well under your budget, and then you can spend the time to make sure that the boat is right, because it's going to cost money. So that's about it. That's our short and sweet, how much money do you need for a boat? Reddit question answer video for today. Stay sideways.